Okay, so I'm gonna try and attempt to teach you guys how to do this effect that I did on my Instagram. It's where a girl is submerged in the water, but it looks like she's in the road at the same time. It's gonna be cool. Check it out. Video right after this. What's going on, guys? I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make that effect that I did on my Instagram story about a day ago, where a girl looks like she's submerged in water but in a road at the same time. So I'm gonna show you guys the final image. Here it is. This is the final image, and I'm gonna show you guys how to get there. So this is gonna be step one. Step one, you need the right photos, period. So first website is going to be unsplash.com. Unsplash.com and the other website that we're gonna get here into soon. Beautiful websites to go ahead and find photos as such. So this is our first photo. This is of Adriana Van Groningen, I think. And pretty much all I did was search up girl in water, and I had to scroll down a little bit, but that's what I found eventually. And then pexels.com, same thing as the other website. You know, you search up what you want and it gives you exactly what you're looking for. So I searched up road, and literally the second photo that came up was a photo that I needed. So I'm gonna let you guys download this, okay? The links are gonna be somewhere. Probably put the links on the video or maybe in the description, but they're gonna be somewhere. So guys, check it out, excuse me. Check it out, and we're gonna go straight into Photoshop. And like I said before, this is the final product, okay? Mind you, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna be redoing it. So I'm not sure if it's gonna look exactly like this again, but this is pretty much the gist of it, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna hide it, okay? So here are our two photos, okay? They're basically all that we need to make sure that this happens. And so what you're gonna wanna do is align your photo. So bring down the opacity by like however many you feel, however points or percent you feel it's best for you to line up the photo. Let's dive straight into it. So bring your opacity right back up once you feel as if you have the right area where you wanna be covered. Yeah, once you do that, okay, you're going to take her and take the background out. You know, you want to take the background out so you can see the mountains and all that. So what you're going to do is go to your quick selection tool, click that, and you want to cover her whole body. So you want to pretty much say like, I want this. Make sure you have the key parts. So her head, you want to make sure that that's, you know, as cropped out as best as possible. So you want to go ahead and do that. I'm going to speed this process up. If you ever run into a problem like this where your selection goes too far off, all you have to do is hit this little minus and a brush from the quick selection. It says subtract from selection, and all you do is take some selection away, and it'll analyze it as best as possible and take what's not supposed to be there away. So we'll do that, boom. And so what you want to do is from there, you want to hit this tool right here, the add layer mask. So once you do that, it's gonna take her and remove the background. So she's gonna be the only thing there. So what you wanna do is rename this and rename it to Swimmer Hard Light, okay? Because we're gonna be adding a blend option of hard light here in the next, you know, couple minutes. But duplicate that, and then you're just gonna delete, you know, the title and just leave Swimmer. Take the swimmer, okay, and you want to grab your brush and make sure the foreground is white, and you're gonna brush in some of the water, okay? You're gonna brush in just, you know, some of the surroundings that she has going on. You don't wanna go too far, so you wanna brush in some of the surroundings, okay? You know, make it as big as you need. You need to do all that cool stuff, boom, right? And then boom, just like that. Maybe you want to do something out here, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know. So you want to do that, right? And then what you're going to do is you see this little area right here where it's black and white. You're just going to hit Option, drag down, okay, while holding Option, and hover over Swimmer Hard Light and just drop it, right? And what that's going to do is replace Swimmer Hard Light. Now, if there's a window that pops up that says replace a new layer or something of that nature, just hit do not show again and then commit, and then every time you do this, it won't ask you again, it'll just do it, right? So once you've done that, once you copied it, you're just gonna go over and hit hard light on the Swimmer Hard Light, okay? You're gonna bring the opacity down to about 60%. Boom. And then you're gonna eliminate some of the swimmer, okay? And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna switch the foreground to black. You're gonna eliminate some of the swimmer, okay? And now it's gonna look way more natural. It's gonna look way more natural, like if the water was actually there, okay? Boom. So you take some of that away, you know, make sure you don't take the swimmer away like I just did, but you're gonna take some of that away and you're gonna be golden from there. Now what I did, and something that I think is super, super, super important, is to make sure that everything matches the right way, right? So what I'm saying by that is there's this line here, okay, that usually divides the road. It kind of looks like the water is a couple feet above it, or a couple inches, I'm sorry. So what you want to do to make it look more natural is you want to take your brush, and while you're on the swimmer layer, and you want to take some of it out, right? Then you want to go to swimmer hard light, and you want to take some of that out too. You know, try your best to stay just in the line, right? And now it looks like it was actually just dropped, right? You know, it looks more natural. It looks more natural. So what you want to do now is take the swimmer and swimmer hard light, group them, okay? And you're going to take an adjustment layer, or you're going to take one of the adjustments, which is going to be hue and saturation, and clip it to that group that you just made. We're going to rename this to a swimmer folder, right? Boom. And what you're going to do now is you're going to take some of this, some of these blues away so that it matches more with the ground, the asphalt, okay? So you're gonna go to master up here. So this is gonna be where you're gonna go under default master. You're gonna go to cyans, okay? And you're gonna take some of those down. You're gonna go about 46, negative 46. Then you're gonna go to your blues and take that down. You know, I would take it down all the way, but just for the safety of discoloration, negative 55, okay? Once you do that, you're gonna wanna take this. Let me take this out the way for you guys. I'll title that done. Boom. You're gonna take this, okay, and you're gonna group this into a folder, and you're gonna name it safety. Or actually, you're gonna duplicate it first, okay? So once you put it into a folder, you're gonna duplicate it, okay? This one's gonna be, let's name the bottom one safety, just in case you mess up, right? Just in case you mess up, and you're gonna hide that, right? You're gonna hide the done portion too, and then you're gonna name this main, okay? And what you're gonna do now is you're gonna actually take this folder right here and convert all of it into a smart object. Boom. Okay? So main photo, we're gonna rename that. It's gonna be all one actual thing. It's gonna be one thing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna double click this. So now what we wanna do is pretty much take this and correct the lighting a little bit, okay? So in my opinion, you know, I feel like the lighting is a little bit dull. You know, and if you can see, I'm gonna add a new layer just to show you guys. If you can see, the light is coming in from the right side. So her left, our right, obviously because we're editing, but the light is hitting her head right here, okay? It's hitting this area right here. So that means the sun is up here. The sun is right here, okay? It's beaming down just like that. But on the background, there is no sun. It's really, really cloudy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change that, okay? So what we're gonna do now is, like I just did, is you're gonna add a new layer, okay? So we'll delete that so we can show you. So you're gonna go here to add new layer or create new layer. Boom, you're gonna do that, okay? This is gonna be used in the future, and this is gonna be lens flare. So title that lens flare. What you're gonna do now is go over to the main photo, double click, okay? And go over to the gradient overlay. Now my settings are already in because I did this before, but what you're gonna do is set the opacity to 60, change the color profile to from left to right, black and white, okay? And commit, hit that okay. Make sure none of this is reversed, make sure there's no dither on, make sure again all your settings look identical to mine, 81% on the scale, all that cool jazz. And then what we're gonna do is give it an angle of 0 degrees, okay? And what this is gonna do once you commit, what this is gonna do is add more light to the right side and make it darker on the left. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a blur so that we can take the background and separate it from the foreground so that it looks like it was taken on a super, super dope camera with a nice, super expensive lens, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hover over main photo, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, okay? You're gonna go to 3.5 pixels and just commit, okay, boom. Now I know everything is blurred out, but what we're gonna do now is go over to our smart filters and select our brush, okay? And we're gonna make it big, right? We're gonna make it about this big, okay? You're gonna change your foreground to black over here in the colors, and you're going to start to take away some of the blur that has been added, right? So you're gonna take some of that away, boom, just like that, okay? So naturally in a camera, the blur, usually when you're pointing at a subject, it takes the blur out of the background the most. There's so much compression in the background. If you're using like a 1.8, 1.4, depending on what lens, maybe a 50 millimeter, maybe a I don't know, whatever kind of lens you use. So you wanna adapt those settings, you know, that you would normally use in a photo situation like this, you know, to your photo. So usually there's a little bit of blur in the foreground ahead of the subject. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna blur some of this right here. Boom. You're gonna blur that. Boom. Okay? And then you're gonna take this brush and you're gonna make it a little bit smaller, and you're gonna go in and just refine some of this, okay? So I'm gonna speed this up so you know what I mean. So you're gonna take this brush and just kind of make sure it's set to black and kind of reveal her a little bit. I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so I just noticed something. I messed up here a little bit, okay? So if you can see, the dashed lines are in front of her face, right? So easy way to fix this is to just click on this photo right here, double click, and it's gonna take you to your canvas of what it originally looked like before you converted it into a smart object. What you're gonna do is zoom in, open up this folder, open up the swimmer, and go on both. You're gonna go on both hard light and on the regular swimmer and kind of fill this in, right? Because it's not supposed to be there, period, right? So that's what you're gonna do, just like that. You're gonna fix that, and all you have to do from here is hit the X button, commit, save, and it's gonna fix that for you. Boom, just like that. No problems, easy, okay? So now that we fixed that and we have the blur added, all that cool jazz, now we're gonna add the lens flare, okay? And the lens flare is gonna go in this area. So you're gonna highlight the layer that has nothing in it. You wanna fill this area with black. So you're gonna go over to your gradient or your bucket tool and fill it in with black. And now what you're gonna do is go to filter, okay, render, okay, lens flare, okay. You're gonna grab this little point right here and just drag it to the middle, boom. 105 millimeter prime, 133%, commit, and there you go, okay. Now what you're gonna do from here is you're gonna add the screen blend option. You're gonna take your move tool and you're gonna highlight it and you're gonna move it over, just like this. And what this is gonna do is give the effect as if the sun is coming from that side on the photo, okay? So that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna make it work just like this, okay? Now you're gonna see this line. All you gotta do is hit this right here, and this button's gonna be add layer mask. You're gonna go to your brush, okay? Make sure your brush size is pretty big. You're going to switch the foreground to black, and you're just gonna get rid of some of that, okay? Just gonna get rid of it, just like that. So the mood of the photo is more yellowish, if it makes sense, okay? Hover over this, and you're gonna add adjustments, and you're gonna go to hue and saturation, and you're gonna clip it now, okay? And you're gonna bring this over a little bit to the yellows. You're gonna hit colorize. You're gonna bring it to the yellows a little bit, just like that. And that portion is done. Now we're gonna go ahead and color grade the photo, and that's what's next, okay? Okay, so now what you wanna do from here is you're gonna add 2 curves, okay? So you're gonna go up here to your adjustments and you're gonna hit curves. I've already added mine, okay? Because the curves that I have, you guys probably don't have them. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna list those in the description or somewhere. I'm gonna give you guys a link to it so you guys can use these, okay? So you're gonna go ahead, and once you open it, you're gonna have a list of curves. Mine that I use is rivers and rain, okay? And then I used cold heart, okay? And I reduced the opacity to 34, okay? And as you can see, it does something to the photo because it's not the same anymore. It kind of color grades all this, and it makes it look better in my opinion. And that's how you create this effect. It's super simple. Nothing super complex. I walked you through it so that you guys have an idea of how it's done. But as you can see, I'm gonna group this, okay? This is version 2, okay? This is version 2. This is my version, and this is the original version that I made, okay? As you can see, there are some things that are a little bit changed, but it all just depends on what you want to be highlighted, okay? In my other one, I brung in some of the water on the ground and on the background, and that's all I did. Oh, forgot one more thing. Grain always helps, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up to your you're gonna go to your bottom layer, just copy it and title it grain. And you're going to, once it's already white, so what you're gonna do now is go to filter, noise, add noise, and make sure Gaussian is on and monochromatic is checked off. Then you're gonna go to overlay, bring down the opacity, and your photo's done. Boom, just like that. So now it kind of has that same similar grain. And that's pretty much it. That's how you do it. That's all it is. You have your photo, you have your canvas, there it is. And color graded and everything, and now she looks as if she's a part of the asphalt. So I'm going to repost this, as well as I'm going to post a video, and you guys can have at it. Share with me what you guys have done, if you guys created new ones, or maybe if you've taken these photos and made it on your own with some different color grade. Tag me, show me. I'd love to see what you guys do. Yeah, and I hope you guys learned something great out of this. This is some cool stuff, when you blend two photos together to make it look like one. And in my opinion, it adds to your creativity, adds to your skill set. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this literally changes your whole life, and I hope that it takes your skill from this point to that point. All right? So thank you guys for watching. Peace out.